All right, some good news and some bad news on the injury front. Let me know in the comments, though, your prediction for this game. I think it's the Lions are going to win. Maybe a little bit more low scoring than we're thinking. I think this team's a good team. They're really good. Defense is good. So I think it's Lions 26, Vikings 20, and it's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see it. 1:00 on Sunday. I love the 1:00 games. Okay. Here's what's going on, and it's kind of interesting. So Carlton Davis was absent from practice, but it's since been reported that he is good to go. He's got a quad injury and should be fine. Kevin Zeitler, on the other hand, has a new injury, a hip that he sustained in practice, and he is getting to the point where he's kind of doubtful for the game. So we know the strength of our offense. We know that the strength of our team is our offensive line. And so to lose a really big time, our right guard, it's really going to be, that's tough. So the good news is Carlton Davis is back. That's the big news because, of course, we're going against Justin Jefferson, and would really hate to have him and Terrion Arnold out there. I think Terrion's doing a really good job and really developing, but you want that veteran corner out there, especially the way that we're going to play up on the receiver. So I don't, man. So that's really good news. But the bad news is Zeitler's going to be out. But if Zeitler's out, then that means it's what's his name, the guy that filled in when Ragnow was out and he had to go in at left guard. Can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about. He's got a weird name, so forgive me. But anyway, the Vikings, here's what they've got. Aaron Jones is the big one. So Aaron Jones was at practice and he's got a hamstring. So it was an ankle or a hip, and then it turned out to be a hamstring. So that would be huge if he doesn't play. Really would be. Hawkinson is still trying to figure out if he can come back for this game. It sounds like he might not. But overall, the Vikings are in pretty good shape. They've got a few guys that are going to be out, but considering how banged up the whole league is, they're in pretty good shape. Now, wanted to show you something else here as we look. PFF did a thing where it's kind of looking at where we're at now and where we're going. So they got Lions ranked 4th on their power rankings. That's fine. But it shows their strength of schedule to date, which there's only been, I know we're 1/3 of the way through the season, but the Lions had a bye as well. So all it takes is like one bad team in there to make your strength of schedule not look that good. So to date, because I haven't played the Vikings yet, so to date, the Rams are not good. So it's a 29th rank on strength of schedule. Strength of schedule remaining 4th. Yikes. Because of the Vikings. The Vikings were a team that we all had kind of penciled in as one that we could beat, and they'd be twice a year. Or, we'd play them twice, all good. The Vikings now are really good, so that makes that strength of schedule look really good. They're projecting that we win 11 games. Chance of making the playoffs are at 75%. Winning the division is at 26%. Again, these are numbers plugged into a computer on an algorithm. We're just fun to kind of look at. Chance of winning the NFC, 15%. And chance of winning the Super Bowl is at, let's just call it 10%. Now, the point I'm going for here is we're talking about Super Bowl. Man, Hutch is down. That closes our Super Bowl window. And Super Bowl, it's so hard to win the Super Bowl. Craig and I were talking about this when we were, because last week you had Tom Brady on there. He's got 7. It's like, how? It's crazy what you need to win the Super Bowl. You have to be insanely good, like Tom Brady obviously was, or you have to have a team around you. I mean, there's just so many factors that have to go right. We see that with Aiden Hutchinson going out. So, huge road win in the NFC last week against the Cowboys, just completely destroyed them. And now we get to go on the road again, and really excited to see about that. Now, something that came out of this week or this last couple of days was the coordinators were talking, and this was a big one that I think is huge. Is the coordinators were talking. Ben Johnson was talking about Tim Patrick and his chemistry with Goff, and he said Jared certainly has said to him that, hey, man, he's a long target, so I feel like there's a lower range to miss him, meaning he's got a nice catch radius, Tim Patrick, and he's learning that. And he said, so a lot of times what's going to happen is there are going to be some one-on-one situations with Tim Patrick that you've got to be like, oh, yeah, he's bigger, and I could just throw it to him. And so you saw that in the Dallas game when we were kind of needed a big play. He went to Tim Patrick. It actually looked like there was guys open too, but he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it up to Tim Patrick. He makes the adjustment on Owarie, of all people. I mean, it just, again, shows how far we've come and how good Brad Holmes is at the personnel decisions, because Owarie was on our team. And remember, he wasn't bad there for a minute. And you're like, let's go. And then the next thing you know, he's terrible. And he's gone off the team. Now he lands on the Cowboys, and we're making him look silly. So love to see that. So Tim Patrick is really completed the team. And this is where I got all messed up last week, was Tim Patrick's coming together, had a couple big catches. We're firing on all cylinders. Tim Patrick is really like, all right, he took over for Josh Reynolds. The team is complete. We have the complete team. We have it. And then Hutchinson goes down. So that's where I was last week. Like, I went from thinking, okay, we really have no holes. Like, we have it all. Yeah. Here's the next thing Ben Johnson said that I thought was really good. He's talking about Jameson Williams, and he says, I think people are starting to realize that you don't want to single him out. Defenses don't want to single him out because he will make them pay. Here's what I love. It's finally just saying it. They are not as fast as him. So this is Ben Johnson. Usually it's like, it depends on who we play, or, we got to find the right matchup, or you just kind of keep it PC. But it says like, they're not as fast as him. This is the fastest player in the NFL. So, sup. And that's where the Vikings are going to have to decide what they want to do. They like to bring everybody up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 7. They put 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's coming. You don't know who's dropping. I love it, right? But the counter to that is, what if you can't get out of it fast enough? You either have to be right, and if you're not, and the Lions are right, they get it blocked up just enough, and the Lions can get beyond your guys dropping out of there, whatever you want to do. Okay, right? So it's like, man, if we could hit 1 or 2 of those, that's 14 points. So that's what the Lions are going to really be focused on. And Jameson Williams is a huge part of that. So it's going to be a great game. Carlton Davis being there is going to be huge. Zeitler out big, but hey, long season, and geez, seriously, the offensive line has been relatively healthy to this point, so take it all day. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you subscribe, and we'll see all of you on the next one.